Heart-pounding excitement happens every Friday and Saturday night at Meadowlands Racing and Entertainment. Live harness racing kicks off at 7:15 p.m. Admission and parking are free. Take in the live race action while dining in Pink Restaurant. For reservations, call 201 the Big M. Watch and wager on all the sports action in the FanDuel Sportsbook while dining on upscale bar fare. Enter our nightly promotions for a chance to win cash and other great prizes. Visit playmeadowlands.com for racing, dining, and promotion information.
Hello everyone, I'm Heather Vitale for a harness racing update. In the circus of life, trainer Julie Miller is a tightrope walker. Yes, she has this amazing talent of balancing the roles of mother and wife and friend and running one of the most successful stables in the sport. Plus, she makes it look so easy. So what's her secret? And what secret weapons do Team Miller have for 2019? We're about to find out in this edition of Two's in Training. You know, Julie, sometimes I get frazzled during the day, like with kids and work and life, and I have to take a deep breath, and I think to myself, WWJMD, what would Julie Miller do? Because I'm telling you, I look at you and I think, how do you manage it all?
You know what? I think like you just said, you just take one task at a time and get through that one and move on to the next one. You know, try to prioritize what's important for the day.
All right. That's my new life management skill right there. So I'm taking that in. All right, let's talk horses a little bit. First of all, Sutton. We're going to start with some of the older horses. 6 years old. Tell me about him. He actually raced at 3, right? And then he was off for a while, his 4-year-old season, and he's coming back.
Most definitely. He's had a limited starts in his career of his from 2-year-old on up. And like you said, when he was 3, he was beat ahead in the handbook, finished 3rd. So I think that's his claim to fame so far. We hope to add to the resume, of course. But, you know, he's had his issues, and they were feet issues. We've tried to overcome them. And right now we seem to be on the comeback trail. He had a nice race at the Meadowlands last Friday. Came first quarter in 27-1, came home in 27-1. So it takes a lot to beat that. So we know we have high hopes for him, obviously, for this summer.
Yeah, and Top Flight Angel, another one that looks really good for this year. He ended his year with a bang.
Yeah, you know what? He's 5 this year. So, you know, we hope he's varsity lettered out of that freshman year, 4-year-old year. He's going to actually qualify this Saturday at the Meadowlands. And again, he's trained back super, and we're real excited about him as well.
So some 3-year-olds we'll touch on. Prospect Hill, 7 wins out of 13 starts last year, right?
Yeah, you know, he started out his career with a bang last year. It seemed like he couldn't get beat on the PA circuit. Started faltering a little bit in the end, and we found out that he also had a fracture in a foot. We got that taken care of over the winter, and like you said, we're optimistic about his chances. That's a tough division with Chimpanzee and all those other ones, but you know, maybe we can be there and get a sniff of it.
How do you like Special Honor? She's a sophomore, right?
Yeah, she's absolute sweetheart. That's what I term her all the time. Very willing filly. Always gives an A effort. Last year she started out really well in the New Jersey Sire Stakes. I think had a limb win in the Jim Doherty. Got a little sick on me, came back from that, and ended her career good. So again, just hopefully she can pull it all together this summer.
And Captaintreacherous, a pacing colt. He was speedy last year as a freshman.
Yeah, he sure was. And again, that division's very, very talented. So he's a captain, obviously. High hopes for him as well. He's also going to qualify this weekend, and he seems in good form.
All right, now we're going to move on to our 2-year-olds. And you got a lot of trotters. You probably get asked this a lot. What's the deal with that?
You know, actually this year we started with 30 and 5 pacers, And, I don't care if they trot or pace as long as they, go fast and make the money. But it seems like our clientele has shifted towards that genre and, whatever clicks. So, yeah, we seem to have a lot of trotters.
We'll start with a worthy of honor, a Cantab Hall, a $90,000 yearling purchase at Lexington.
Yeah, you know what? We liked him on the floor. Carter does a great job. He's just been a model of excellence. And like you say, we've staked him up pretty heavily. And, this time of year, it's kind of hard to tell what you really do have, but he's done everything right so far.
So Big Oil is a Father Patrick, but the mom is Cee Bee Yes, and you know her, don't you?
Yes, very well, very well. We campaigned her a 2 or 3 year old year for the Allens. She was an amazing filly. She was New Jersey bred, ended up winning a nice race in Lexington, got a great mark down there. They breed horses as well, so we're very lucky to get this homebred in our barn.
How about Get Legs, who is over $100,000 at Lexington?
You know what? We were trying to get a nice Muscle Hill, and that trot and colt. It's hard to get one, and we always try to stay in a budget when we buy horses. So when the ones that are going for $300 and $400 are passing you by, we really like this one at Concord. We actually, Andy and I went out about 3 times and viewed him. Loved how he was in the field, and we took our chances with him.
Talking about being on a budget, the next one I want to talk about is a $12,000 yearling purchase, FX Hanover and Explosive Matter.
I know, but we have an owner, Natalia Stroy. It's our Russian client, and she's really gotten involved in the U.S., so she asked me to look at this horse at the Hanover consignment. I remember seeing him, and, he didn't really aspire much to me, and she said, "No, Julie, I've seen some of his horses that are in the same pedigree, race in Europe. I want him." I said, "Well, then if you want him, you can get him." And what a bargain price. So,
yeah, I mean, he made the list at $12,000. That is like, it could be a diamond in the rough.
Well, and that's the thing. And I really try hard. You go to these sales and the farms and you get your ones you already fall in love with. But once I get them in here, they just have a halter on. You got to treat them all the same. And whoever rises to the top is the one that is successful.
Now we're going to talk about first crop Sebastian K, which is really exciting for people when they get a first crop of a new sire, Hollow Talk.
Yeah, Bernie called up Andy and said, "Hey, we'd like to give you a Sebastian K to train." And of course, if it's Vincent Trident and Bernie, you're going to say for sure. So the colt came in and he seems really nice. Like you say, we don't know much about the Sebastian Ks yet, but he's built nice, has a good attitude, and, like to see what he can do.
Now we're going to move to our girls, Aldabra Hanover.
Aldabra Hanover was one that we really liked at Hanover. Paddocked well. Just a nice filly. She has just been a sweetheart and does anything I ask of her. So, like you say, she's staked up pretty heavily as well, and I hope she shows up.
How about Never Content, which I absolutely love that name. Sometimes names just resonate with you, and tell me about her. I tell you that the Cat Sleep Bell Gold Band group, they try hard to come up with some creative names, and they do a really good job. This mare's out of Sheer Soul, out of their broodmare band. They liked her enough to keep her, and I guess liked Andy enough to give her to us to train, and she's just been a nice mare. She's a sister to Designed to Be. So, she resonates in a soft spot in my heart. She was a nice filly for me that we campaigned. So, like I said, she's been doing everything right. So, and she's a Father Patrick. We're going to look at another Father Patrick. It's Word of Honor.
Yep, another homebred. Brittany Farms is included in this one. And it's full sister to Special Honor. So I think, when you have a little success with the older sister, you get the younger one. And again, just a smart filly. I can't say enough about the Father Patricks, really. I think they're a smart group, a willing group, and we've just had hope success with them.
We're going to top off our trotting fillies with a Muscle Hill named Hannah.
Yeah, you know what? We saw her in Lexington, and she's got some good pedigree behind her. We liked her. I think her conformation might have scared a few people off, but me and Andy, we're willing to try about anything. So she's showing up right now. At the beginning, she was a little more timid filly and maybe didn't exactly know what we wanted, but in the last few weeks, she's turning around and at least made it to talk to you about. So.
So we're going to look at our pacers now. Billie Hanover, a Captaintreacherous.
Yeah, Billie Hanover. Actually, we partnered up with Nick Zurich and Bob Heckoff, and Nick really liked this filly. And, she wasn't flashing to me at all. And then when we got her in the barn, I'm telling you what, this is when, as a trainer, you just have to have a lot of patience. She was a very nervous filly, timid filly, didn't exactly know what we were wanting from her, very, very skittish, and it took months, I'm telling you months, to get her to, maybe she matured while we were being patient, to the level where she is now, where you drive with 2 fingers, she's perfect in the barn, around the equipment and other horses, and I guess the reason why I brought her up is when you do have patience, how it pays off. You know, I don't know if she's going to be an America racehorse, but for a trainer, when you train babies to get them to this type of point, you do have a bit of appreciation for the animal and what they can learn if you give them the chance.
Yeah. It takes, no pun intended, but a special breed to train 2-year-olds. I mean, the patience. I know a lot of trainers will sit there who train race horses and they'll say, breaking the babies, that's not for me, right?
Oh, 100%. And you know what? I feel like this business is getting a little more specialized all the time. You know, you have only people that drive or only people that you say train raceway horses. You know, I'm lucky that we dabble in both. But no, definitely you have to take the deep breath and really listen to what your horse is saying to you to get the best out of them.
How do you like an American Ideal at a glowing report? I mean, like $2 million she earned on the racetrack.
I know. I was really hoping to get this filly at the sale. Richard Arnold also liked her and, you know, touted her to us. And it always seems like the price tag is what happens. And we, reached into our pockets a little deeper than we normally like to. But I loved her. And Cameo Hills, when I saw her up at their farm, I fell in love with her as well. So right now, like you say, she's doing everything right, and time will tell.
All right, so finally, we're going to round up our 2-year-olds with Unstoppable Hall.
Winback bred horse, and we've had a little luck with Winback lately, so I like buying from their consignment. The filly has just been really good, and we have a half-mile track here at Gaitway. She gets over it really well, being a New York bred. So, you know, I don't know if she's one of the top horses, but definitely I think you can hear her name in New York.
All right. So we've talked about some older horses, 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, and life in general. But something really exciting, you actually have connections with a couple of stallions now, Metz Hall and Devious.
Yeah, you know what? We got hooked up with, like I said, Natalia, and we bought Metz Hall and Devious Man both out of the Winback consignment. And, pretty proud accomplishment for Andy and I to have back-to-back years where our 3-year-olds both won over $1 million. You can't get any major awards for that, but it helps the purse account. But, I'm just really proud of them. And Devious Man now stands at Blue Chip Farms, and Winback is where Metz Hall is. So, and we owned a small piece of them too, so that just even makes it more special.
So when we come back next year, tell me about, when did they start standing stud then, and when do we see their 2-year-olds?
Yep, there'll be little Devious Mans running around next year for people to purchase, and we have actually a broodmare that we bred this year to him, so this will be the yearling year for the Devious Mans.
Oh, so exciting. Well, congratulations.
Well, I really appreciate it, Heather, and thanks for coming up and visiting us today.
Oh, thank you for having us. Thank you so much. And I am taking your life advice into account. Definitely. One step at a time there. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, Heather.
I absolutely loved having Julie join us today from her stable at Gaitway Farm in New Jersey, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update.
Harness Racing Update is the sport's most comprehensive and trusted news source and the fastest growing publication in the game. HRU has you covered with award-winning features and commentary from some of the sport's best writers. Stellar photography, race news, results, entries, handicapping, and video replays. The industry's most comprehensive sales results and Harness Racing's best reader feedback section. And it's all delivered free of charge to your email box multiple times each week. See why HRU is the most trusted news source of the sport's most important people from all facets of the industry. Subscribe today for free. To subscribe, just go to harnessracingupdate.com and then click subscribe for free.